What is up, everyone? I'm Kimmy Chex, here joined with Adam Rank and Marcus Grant. We are talking free agency in the best fantasy fits for some hot tight ends on the market. I want to start with Marcus Grant. Where is Austin Hooper going?
Well, he's not going to Atlanta. It seems as though the two sides have decided, in the words of Gwyneth Paltrow, to have a conscious uncoupling. So they're going to be going their separate ways, which if I am Austin Hooper, I'm a little bit salty about that, right? Like, I was having a great year. I got hurt. Maybe I slowed down a little bit at the end of the year. And suddenly now the Falcons decide they don't want me. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be spiteful, and I'm going to go to Carolina. The Panthers are looking for a tight end now that Greg Olsen has moved on there, right? We've seen that they have not been afraid to use their tight ends, and especially if Cam Newton is able to come back. I mean, he and Greg Olsen had a great connection. He can have an equally athletic but younger tight end in Austin Hooper, and Hooper gets the chance to take two shots at his former team every single year. So why not? Look, I'm all about being petty. I enjoy a little bit of petty. So why not have a little petty in Austin Hooper's life and take some shots from the Carolina side?
All right, it's petty season for Marcus Grant. Adam Rank, where do you think is the best fantasy fit for Austin Hooper at the tight end position?
I don't like saying this, and I don't want to say this as a Bears fan, but as a fantasy enthusiast, it might behoove him to join the Green Bay Packers. Now, I could sit here and make jokes about how Rodgers had peaked in high school and that he wouldn't throw to his tight end anyways, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. No, what I'm going to say here is that when you look at the tight end position, it's been tough for the Packers to master this. Now, last year, Austin Hooper had 75 receptions in 13 games. During Rodgers' entire career with the Packers, his best tight end season came in 2012 when Jermichael Finley had 61 receptions. So Austin Hooper would be an immediate upgrade, and I know a lot of people are going to be looking for some help with him, Devontae Adams. They need to find a solid number 2 wide receiver. I think the Lazard King kind of went out and earned that. So I think from a fantasy perspective, the best pick. And listen, I'm going to sit here and be honest with you. I think I would go to Green Bay. I would try to fill that void that they haven't been able to fill. They've tried a bunch of dudes. Jimmy Graham was all right, but I think Austin Hooper would come in there and solve that problem for them.
What about him to the Patriots, though? You know, if Tom Brady is to stay in New England, it's abundantly clear that he needs more offensive weapons. There was this whole contingency of people that was so excited to have Gronk back, but he did not come back out of retirement. He's doing his thing. He's party planning. He's throwing beach parties. He's selling things, all the normal things
and what
that
is
you
he
do
selling?
post-retirement. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying what he's selling. All the things you're doing post-retirement.
Health and wellness products.
I do think Austin Hooper could be kind of a fun fit, especially fantasy-wise, and make him a little bit more fantasy relevant for the Patriots. But I don't know. Let's move on to Hunter Henry. Marcus, kick us off. What is the best fantasy fit for him?
Well, we've already moved Austin Hooper out of Atlanta, so why not just move Hunter Henry on in? I mean, look, realistically, I think he stays with the Chargers, but having Hunter Henry go to Atlanta, I think would be a really nice fit there. Again, we saw what Austin Hooper was able to do working with Matt Ryan in that offense when he was healthy. We are actually still sort of waiting for the big Hunter Henry breakout season. He just hasn't been able to stay healthy. But you can put him there where he's not going to have to share tight end snaps, and we know who the quarterback's going to be. I mean, we're excited about Hunter Henry's potential, but we still don't know who his quarterback's going to be with the Chargers. You know, will it be potentially Justin Herbert? Will they go sign a veteran off the free agent market? We don't know. But you put him in Atlanta, he's got a solid, consistent quarterback in Matt Ryan and an offense that could certainly give him some targets.
All right, Adam Rank, what do you think? What's the best fantasy fit? Hunter Henry. I do think it's kind of a smart idea to maybe keep him with the Chargers.
Right.
That's someone that they want to invest in, but I don't know. What do you think?
No, I agree with you. And I actually agree with your earlier point about how the Patriots need to address their tight end position. And I think this is where Hunter Henry would actually be the best possible option. You talked about Rob Gronkowski and the void that he left, not only as a red zone target, we love the Gronk spike and everything like that, but what people don't really understand is how great Rob Gronkowski was in the running game, because he was a great blocking tight end, and that showed last season. This is why Sony Michel struggled last year. It was because Gronk wasn't there. James Devlin, the fullback, got injured. And Hunter Henry is an exceptional blocker. If you go back and you watch some of Austin Eckler's huge runs, I mean, if you look at the one against Jacksonville, Hunter Henry is out there leading the way. He is out there blowing dudes off the field and everything like that. He's crushing guys. Like, he is a great blocker. You put him near the goal line with the Patriots, all of a sudden, that team becomes more prolific. And more importantly, Sony Michel becomes fantasy relevant again. So you get a 2-for-1 because Hunter Henry is going to be a good receiver no matter where he goes, but he's going to make the running back better, and I think we need help for the Patriots. And I know that if you've watched this series of videos, I've been stumping for the Patriots all over the place.
What are they?
But
Like, what has happened?
Listen,
Who are
no,
you?
but listen, I just want Sony Michel to be good again. That's all. That's all I want, and I think that Hunter Henry will help.
I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed.
Don't be disappointed.
That's the worst.
Listen,
that's the worst
I
type.
said I did the right thing, and I said Packers, get Austin Hooper. I didn't feel great about it, and I can understand you wouldn't feel great if the Patriots were amazing again. But for our fantasy teams, this is the best possible outcome.
All right, now I want to talk a veteran tight end, Eric Ebron. Now, he's just 2 seasons removed from a pretty damn good season with Andrew Luck at quarterback. Now, Andrew Luck decided to retire. Jacoby Brissett stepped in. Eric Ebron, who was actually pretty high in draft stock last year as a tight end, he then kind of fell off throughout the season, was probably dropped from leagues or put on the bench. Where do we think the best fantasy fit for him next season would be? Does he still have gas in the tank? Could he still be a dominant fantasy tight end elsewhere? Rank, what do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I think Eric Ebron can come in and make an immediate impact. The team I would like to see him go to is the Chicago Bears. Now, they will be in the market for a tight end, but obviously the Packers are probably going to overbid for Austin Hooper. Somebody's going to overbid for Hunter Henry. So you let the market come down, and then you make a move for Eric Ebron, because the one thing about Matt Nagy's offense, you need at least one tight end to make it work. Now, the team signed Trey Burton a couple of years ago. It hasn't quite worked out. He's had some injury problems, but he could still come back and be good. If you paired him with Eric Ebron and went with a 2 tight end set, it would be solved. I mean, obviously, this could have been solved if you would have drafted George Kittle instead of Adam Shaheen. Oh, I can understand why you wouldn't want to draft the guy from Iowa who grew up idolizing Brian Urlacher, but whatever. I think you can rectify this.
So you're saying Trey Burton and Adam Shaheen ain't it anymore?
Well, Trey Burton's fine. He can stay. He's good. Like, that cost is sunk. Like, he's going to be on the team, which is fine. If he comes back and he's healthy, I'm into it. Eric Ebron will help out as well. Give Mitch as many possible targets as possible, and it'll be great.
All right, Marcus, do you think Eric Ebron would also be a good fantasy fit in Chicago?
I do. I actually think he'd be a very good fantasy fit in Chicago. I know that, in one of these other videos, Rank, you talked about them not being able to run the football effectively, but I think Eric Ebron, he's maybe not the blocker that Hunter Henry is, but he's not a bad run blocker as well. So he can sort of chip in that respect, help David Montgomery out. And then once they pair him with Ryan Tannehill, if they sign him in free agency, then you've got Eric Ebron as a nice red zone target to catch the football, help out with some of those bootlegs, getting him out of the pocket, moving him around. Eric Ebron can be there in the middle of the field to help out.
He can be there in the middle of the field, and his draft stock will automatically go up on the tight end position. All right, this was fun. You heard our spicy takes, our funny-ish jokes. Please make sure you follow us at NFL Fantasy on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And please like and subscribe below.